I've removed a few items from the help menu, and I'm going to concentrate on these last two. I've added these five items to the Sprite help menu. They either handle sizes or rotation. And over here in Storyboard, you've got the shift keys. They work either with sprites, some of them work with shadows, and some of them work with both. These last three items that I've highlighted are for making selections with something called a rubber band. You've got a Command M and U. These work in conjunction with the sprite keys that I mentioned earlier. They allow you to make multiple selections just like this by holding down the Command key and then dragging it. And using those keyboard commands from sprites, you can do things like rotation, scaling, you can move things around if you need to with the arrow keys, or you can use the mouse if you've got the rubber band up and running. And you can use M to hide the rubber band, and Shift H to toggle the sprite selectors on and off. And you unselects everything and you're back to where you were. If you have an animation running, you could drop a video clip on it and it will show up in the background. You'll need to start the animation first and then add the video. I don't have any good way to do that now, and I don't have any way to save it, but it's there to use if you want to. When the video clip runs out, it just quits like this. I also would advise reading the changes because there have been some, and it'll highlight some information that you probably want to know about. Here in PathMaker, these keys here are pretty much self-explanatory. And this group here handles rotation and scaling similar to the way you would do it in sprites, except that it does it for paths. The scale X and scale Y will do exactly what they say. They'll scale it either in one direction or the other. You may have noticed there are two sets of angle brackets. This group here handles the scaling on paths, and this other group applies to waypoints. And once you've turned on waypoints, you can use the angle brackets to move the start of the path to some other location. And as with Storyboard, you can drop a video clip onto PathMaker, and it'll use it as the background. A couple things I should also mention: you can use the space bar to pause, or the pause button as well. It works the same way as if you were running an animation. While I was working on Dots, I put together this video widget for my desktop so I could easily view some of the video files I have. I've got four different screen formats, so what I did was assign a letter to each one of them, and based on some characteristic, like in this case, I use the letter A because this is a 4:3 format, better known as Academy. And in this case, I'm using the letter F. This is the default, by the way, for full frame, which is 3:2. And here it's 16:9, so I used H for horizontal. And if you do a right mouse click, you can also get the file name. And here you just use V for vertical. So you've got A, F, H, and V. But you're not locked into those sizes or formats. You can move things around like this and make it look almost any way you want. The following, though, is optional, and in order to do this, you'll need to have OpenCV installed. I have it installed because of shadows, so it wasn't a big problem. I'm using that to generate the aspect ratio of these video files, and that sets the screen size, as you can see. So you just drag and drop, and it'll figure out what it needs based on those four screen formats. And if that doesn't work, it'll just default to this. This all runs in 5 and 6. with some edits. And the video player file is located in the extras directory, and that's it.